Good afternoon, everybody. If I could have your attention, please. Thank you. My name is Royston Pillay. I'm the Registrar of the University of Cape Town. It is a great pleasure to invite all of you who are present here today, our graduating students, your parents, members of your family, sponsors, and supporters of the University of Cape Town. It is a fantastic day in Cape Town today. It is a fantastic afternoon in Cape Town this afternoon, and it gives us a lot of pleasure to see many people back on this focal part of our campus, just outside the iconic Sarah Baartman Hall and on the plaza. We know that the world, the country, the province, the University of Cape Town has been affected by the reality of the scourge of the COVID-19 pandemic. It has meant that for many months, 18 months, we've not been able to have gatherings like this. And we also recognize the challenge that our students have had to complete their studies under circumstances that have been without precedent. We recognize the contribution that you've made. We recognize your fortitude, your bravery, your commitment to continue to still do what you have done, to achieve what you have achieved, and to represent the best that a UCT student is able to be. So our hearty congratulations to you as the students, to your families who have supported you, to the academics who have delivered on the core business of the University of Cape Town, and the administrative staff who have supported that core business. So today the proceedings will see our graduating students come up the steps in front of me to this particular point where I'm at the moment. The Dean, the Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Science will read out their names. They'll be congratulated, hooded, and then they will walk down the far end, the north end of where I'm standing at. The other nice innovation is that at a particular point, when the graduate comes up to this particular station, your family members will go into the area just in front of the cameraman. I see some family members have already assembled there. And the nice thing about that is you will have a very good view of the proceedings on this portico. Be able to take photographs and be able to be very close to, physically close to where your son, your daughter, your family member will be. So again, hearty congratulations to all of you and a very warm welcome. We do have the Dean of the Faculty of Science, Professor Ramut Sandela, who is with us. We have the Deputy Dean, Professor Muyasa, who is with us. The Vice-Chancellor of the University of Cape Town, Professor Pakeng, is with us. And we are also very fortunate today to have the Chancellor of the University of Cape Town, Dr. Precious Moloi Motsepe. So I now call on the Vice-Chancellor to come and say a few words. Once again, warm welcome to all of you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. All right, it seems you haven't caught the vibe yet. You didn't get the memo. This is a celebration. Wonderful achievements we're celebrating. And we are UCT, and we know how to celebrate. So here's the thing. This is not a funeral, guys. It's a celebration. So we are going to celebrate. Welcome. 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 We're so delighted to see you. We missed graduations the past 2 years. We miss seeing you walk the stage. And we're delighted that we can have them this year. So please make a point of enjoying them. If you are from the Eastern Cape, don't be scared to do your praise singing. People of KZN, we know that you do your isitakazelo. Feel free to do that. If you come from Northwest, Free State, or Mpumalanga, or anywhere else in the country, Constantia and Parkes included, you do your thing the way you celebrate when you have wonderful achievements in the family. So, do it here. You are welcome to do so. It's been said that behind every graduate stands a very proud and very relieved family. So to all the parents and families of graduates, step-parents, friends, and lovers of graduates, and anyone else who helped pay UCT fees. Perhaps you bought clothes or gave any of our graduates a stipend. My hope is that you do not just feel relieved this afternoon, but you also feel very proud. Your bundle of joy, who finished high school not so long time ago, is now a UCT graduate. And being a UCT graduate is pretty huge if you didn't know. The UCT degree opens doors. Not only that, it creates doors and opportunities for many other people. So this is a wonderful achievement. It is your success as well as a parent. So enjoy it. Graduates, we celebrate you today. But this is not the end of your journey. It's just the beginning. Whether you're getting a doctorate or a master's or an honors or a bachelor's degree, it's not the end. Even with the doctorate, there's the next step of the journey. If you stop here, very dangerous, because it means the decline will have started. So our hope is that in your next step, you'll show the same amount of commitment and consistency that you showed while studying here at UCT. But I also want to remind you today that no one succeeds on their own. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how smart you are or how many big people you know. No one succeeds on their own. So you're here because there are people who supported you, who nurtured you, who helped you in times of trouble. Some of them are your academics. Some of them are your counselors. Some of them are your parents, your sisters, your cousins, your neighbors. All of those people helped you to get here, and I want you to acknowledge them. But here's the thing. Even as you move forward to the next step, make it a habit, once in a while, to stop, pause, look left, look right, look behind you, and acknowledge the people who hold your hand, because this is not an easy world to live in. We always lean on others and allow others to lean on us. So we celebrate you today. Be free, enjoy it. Congratulations.
Yani laveli langa ewe kaloku liveli lilanga wadede kumnyama kwavela ukukhanya liqheqhazile labaneka laduduma libhomboloza lingayeki kodwa yaphinda yani imvula yanela nawe wanguntsikelelo nonompumelelo monompumelelo molona nontsikelelo kuthi mandibhonge ndityityimphe ndingqishe ndombhele xa ndibona abaxhasi bemfundo yabo makwethini sulana zonyembezi zexhala nilile zovuyo ngoba uvuthiwe lo mqubu kade udutyelwa madoda hleka isiqhazo lokuvele nelogqibela ngoba le ntwana usathane idanile hayi makwethi nazinkcuba chopho nina nifana namanzi apho zonke ezintsala zincela khona sithi phambili ngemfundo phambili phambili ngemfundo phambili ndiwagawule ndiwarhuqa kakadini okagaba ucihosha umntu omlamba uthithiba umsuthu umjobi ephuma enyantsula esithi ndiliyakayaka ndinje ndiliyakayaka ndinje hamba ndiliyakayaka ndinje ndiliyakayaka ndinje ndiliyakayaka ndinje hayi yeah.
That's one of our graduates, Neliswa. But it seems like she was doing that somewhere in Europe. You guys were puzzled. Okay, hopefully you'll relax as we go along, right? Like, do Do your thing. Let me recognize the presence of the Minister of International Relations, Dr. Naledi Pandor, who's in our midst. She's here as a parent, as an aunt, not as a minister, so no questions. Okay, she's here to enjoy the graduations, just like us. So let's just welcome her. We are so delighted to have you here. And now I'm going to call our Chancellor, Dr. Precious Moloi Motsepe, who's going to offer congratulatory message to all our graduates. Over to you, Chancellor.
Thank you very much, Vice-Chancellor. I guess it had to be the graduation of science students that stops the rain and brings the sun out. I knew it had to be science students. Thank you so much for pulling that one for us. Vice-Chancellor, faculty, staff, our Honorable Minister Naledi, I didn't see you today. It's fantastic because you've also been the pillar behind science in our country. Graduates, aunts, uncles, molweni. I didn't hear that. Molweni. That's better. Goeiemiddag. Good afternoon. Thank you so much. This is a very special day that we share with our families because, as it was said before, nobody reaches this point alone. To graduate successfully, you've had to do so much work, so much sacrifice. You've had the support of your families, of the staff at the university, and you've had love from your parents and encouragement from everybody else. So I would like you to please put your hands together for yourselves and everybody that has supported you to reach this point. Thank you. What you will do from here onwards, the greatness that you are still going to achieve through your education will also ripple into our communities, into South Africa and the world, because the world needs your gifts. Somebody ordered the wind there. I lost my head. Sorry. So today, I have a very short message for all our graduates. Firstly, use your education to do what you truly love and to create a world that you want to live in. Be passionate about life and your journey throughout your career, and take others with you. Stand out. Distinguish yourself because you come from a distinguished university already. And secondly, never stop learning. As you reach new heights, you will realize that education, particularly the graduation today, is not the end, but a very, very bright and small beginning. You're going to encounter many learning moments throughout your life, and I know you can't hear me now, but I want you to know, if you do encounter failure in your life, don't be discouraged. Don't be afraid of failure. As much as success, it will teach you a lot. Embrace it and learn from it. And secondly, and lastly, be humble. Success is not a given. Pay it forward. Serve your communities and make the world a better place for the less fortunate than yourselves. We know that in South Africa, for instance, out of 100 children that register for primary school, only 4 stand on these stairs as you do today. So I ask you, as you move out into the world, to make time to give to others, to educate them, just as you have learned from this important university. Today we're celebrating science students, and it excites me because the late Professor Tanya Douglas, UCT professor, spoke often about Africa developing its own biomedical solutions. So I want to see every one of you, if not all of you, join the Biomedical Engineering Consortium, which she started, so that we can find unique solutions for our country and for our continent. We need you very much to continue important work like that. And I'm very proud today to stand here as you enter your new chapter in life. I want to remind you, as you walk across and you have tears in your face of joy, take that moment and those feelings, because you're going to need that every time you feel low in life. Remember this moment. It is important for you. And I'd leave you with this quote by Maya Angelou. Success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. I'd like to congratulate you all and wish you all the best throughout your journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chancellor. And I want to invite the Dean of the Faculty of Science, Professor Manu Ramutsindela. He maybe will say a few words of congratulations and then introduce the graduates to us. Over to you, Manu.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks, Vice-Chancellor, for the introductions. It gives me a great pleasure today when I see the new generation of scientists coming to join our family. We always look forward to an opportunity to see scientists in the country, on the continent, and in the world who will take on the challenges that we face. And today, as we celebrate your successes, we celebrate your teachers, we celebrate your parents, we also celebrate your sponsors who have enabled you to acquire the skills and knowledge that you can unleash your own potential. And in the Faculty of Science, we pride ourselves by doing cutting-edge research. But we cannot do this alone, and the generation that has been instrumental in making the science faculty a very important faculty on the continent will not be there forever. We therefore look forward to you taking on the baton. So today, actually what I'm doing will be to read out your names and hand on the baton of science to you so that you can run the race. It is important for the young generations of scientists in this country and on the continent to take their place in the world and to be counted among leading scientists. So I look forward to read more about your successes, to read more about your greatness as you unleash your potential in the scientific world. I'm now going to invite you to present to me, to the Vice-Chancellor, the names of the degrees that you have so we can award them. If it is possible, remind me how you might want me to pronounce your name, if you doubt whether I can read your name properly. We have an opportunity here to read the names, but because we haven't seen them, we don't know whether we can read them. But do whisper to me. With me, I've got my Deputy Dean, Professor Mutema Mwaswa, who will also help me to read out the names. So, Vice-Chancellor, I want to invite the graduates from the Science Faculty and for the Chancellor to accept the degrees. After reading your names, you will go through, there's a camera that is facing my side. Just make sure you take a photograph with me. I've tried to make sure that it will be a good photograph, but so don't rush. After your name has been read, you just wait here, face the camera, take a nice photograph, and then you will go to the Chancellor to hood you, and then you go through to the registrar, and you will be guided down the stairs. You can see that we have got, it's a red carpet for you. Everything is in red because we are celebrating your successes. Okay, so I want to invite the first candidate to move forward. Okay, Bali Zikobe, Masters of Law in Environmental Law. Congratulations. Yuri Robertson with distinction. What degree is it? Master of Science. Thank you. Jennifer Irene Fitchen for the Bachelor of Science. Congratulations. Tara Penton in first class, Bachelor of Science honors. Gregory Feynman in first class, Bachelor of Science honors. Rio Katundulu, Bachelor of Science. Claude Edwin Andrews, Bachelor of Science honors. Martin Daniel Flanagan, Bachelor of Science honors. Nomzamo Mukwena, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in computer science and applied statistics, and the degree with distinction, Jared Benjamin Fisher. Laiga Martin, Bachelor of Science. Trevor Silas Jr., Chamapiwa, Bachelor of Science. Tisetso Maseko, Bachelor of Science. Well done. With distinction in computer science and the degree with distinction, Dillion Kevin Lewis. I think you didn't take the picture. Sorry. You didn't take the picture. Did you take a picture? Okay, you did that. Okay. Alice N. McKnight, Bachelor of Science. Tamil Baring, Bachelor of Science. Holly Megan Dutton, Bachelor of Science. In first class, Angus Grigor McLeod Pierce, Bachelor of Science, Honors. You can go through. Okay. In first class, Laika Hassim, Bachelor of Science, Honors. Laila van Zyl, Bachelor of Science. Zeliso Litwara, Bachelor of Science. Aaron Chris van der Heever, Bachelor of Science. Kiara Mariva Bellingson, BSc in Statistics, Computer Science, Human Autonomy, but that's for the Bachelor of Science. Well done. Joshua Rosenthal, Bachelor of Science. Okay. Darwin George Page, Bachelor of Science. Robin Hacker, Bachelor of Science. Mkaba Kele, Bachelor of Science. Chad Jared Lucas, Bachelor of Science, Honors. Busisiwe Nozipho Mbewe, Bachelor of Science, Honors. With distinction in applied mathematics, Monique Harrison, Bachelor of Science. Well done. You can go. Caitlin Joy Mayer, Bachelor of Science. Okay. With distinction in biochemistry and genetics, Caroline Louise Schreiber. Guguletu Ntombela, Bachelor of Science. Well done. Well done. In first class, Sangani Junior Baloi for Bachelor of Science Honors. Okay, you can go. Well done. Well done. With distinction, Kolosa Ntombini, Master of Science. In first class, Zain Dion Lines, Bachelor of Science Honors. Diana Tina Collins, Bachelor of Science. Well done. Takaiza Takunda Chigwedere, Bachelor of Science. Well done. Khomolemo Selarimotwa for Bachelor of Science Honors. For a thesis entitled Long-Lived Moses-Scale Convectable Systems over Eastern South Africa, Dredrix Munyai Morake for the Doctor of Philosophy. Storm Rian Johnson, Master of Science. Michael James Bro for the Bachelor of Science Honors. Sakina Jeffer, Bachelor of Science. Alon Katz for the Bachelor of Science. Well done. Ntokozo Nkosinathi Ndlovu, Bachelor of Science. Okay, well done. Yolanda Nchati for Master of Science. Well done. You can just go and wait next to the camera. Yeah, thanks. Stanley Edward Stanfield for the Bachelor of Science. Well done. Isham Esop, Bachelor of Science in Biochemistry and Genetics. Thank you. Linda Zungu for the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Information Systems. Lisehe Sikhomoto Petlele, Bachelor of Science. Fatima Kevin for the Bachelor of Science. With distinction in biochemistry and genetics, Zora Bibi Abdullah. Tinashe Mukundi Chitomba, Bachelor of Science. Korula Chauke, Bachelor of Science. Paliso Matsole, Bachelor of Science. Riabetsi Kimine, Bachelor of Science. Matthew David Tallis, Bachelor of Science. This one? Kareli Kupowitz, Bachelor of Science. Liam Lester Lumley for the Bachelor of Science. Well done. Okay. Sumari Fall, Bachelor of Science Honors. Shaisa Zara Nakvi, Bachelor of Science Honors. In first class, Anya Shireen for the Bachelor of Science Honors. Luca Bell, Bachelor of Science. Jordan Reese Morris for the Bachelor of Science. Miles Brower Kitson, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in applied mathematics and physics, and the degree with distinction, Simpson Thornhill for the Bachelor of Science. With distinction in mathematics and physics, and the degree with distinction, Antonia Grindrod. With distinction in computer engineering and computer science, and the degree with distinction, Lark van der Handel. With distinction in mathematics and the degree with distinction, Mohammed Faris Alam. With distinction in mathematics and physics, and the degree with distinction, Coleridge James Faraday. Emily Jane Gammon, Bachelor of Science Honors. Well done. Okay. Michaela Amy Chaplin, Bachelor of Science. Mariam Fredericks, Bachelor of Science. Kumreshni Pillai, Bachelor of Science Honors. Bradley Culligan, Bachelor of Science. Imran Dixon, Bachelor of Science. Thomas Pearson, Bachelor of Science. Okay, well done. Well done. Chelsea Sneyman, Bachelor of Science. Cameron Lamont, Bachelor of Science. Francis Alexander Hill, Bachelor of Science. Well done. Mila Bianca Calden-Hayes. Alex Collin, Bachelor of Science. David Daniel Klopp, Bachelor of Science. Well done. Gina Margaret Hoskin, Bachelor of Science. Nina Elizabeth Matthews, Bachelor of Science Honors. Okay, you wait there. I'm going to invite the Deputy Dean, Professor Mwasa Tama Mwasa, to come and read out the names. Sorry.
Okay.
Whenever you feel tired, you can call me again.
Yes. Stephanie Jade Panther, Bachelor of Science Honors. Samantha Joy Roslid, Bachelor of Science Honors. Holly Francisca Robinson, Bachelor of Science. Morgan Elliott Blem, Bachelor of Science Honors in the first class. Justin Peter Wagner, Bachelor of Science Honors. Gregory Luke Torrington, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Amy Anna Arensi, Bachelor of Science Honors. Well done. In the first class, Kezia Alice Meadow, Bachelor of Science Honors. Joseph Manfield Sidley, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in film and television studies, Julia Gathon Kinghorn, Bachelor of Science. Gemma Kering Sutherland, Bachelor of Science. Lauren Eve Patton, Bachelor of Science. Kaylin Fabin, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in business computing, Tim Wright, Bachelor of Science. Bailey Paul Green, Bachelor of Science. Connor Alan Stevens, Bachelor of Science. Stephanie Halton, Bachelor of Science. Samuel Alton Hume, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in applied statistics, Alice Thiessen, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in genetics and the degree with distinction, Alice Laurus Guthrie Pillar, Bachelor of Science. Ravendran Govida, Bachelor of Science. Lebohang God Selepe, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in computer science and the degree with distinction, Kira Jean Wilson, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Kelly Ann Williams, Statistical Sciences, Bachelor of Science Honors. Gina Williams, Marine Biology Honors. In the first class, Aidan Toledo, Bachelor of Science Honors. Hello. Miranda Nyati, Master of Science. Well done. Nimra Bashir Khan, Bachelor of Science. Elena Jade Sibran, Bachelor of Science. Georgina Anastasia Rousseau, Bachelor of Science Honors. Edwin Baleni, Bachelor of Science. Saline Emily Franco, Bachelor of Science. Kimberly Francisca Greenwood, Bachelor of Science. Well done, Kim. Caitlin Louise Walsh Sparks, Bachelor of Science. Vulenda Junior Moraba, Bachelor of Science Honors. With distinction in biochemistry and genetics, Warwick Spencer Pittman, Bachelor of Science. Michael Murray Gilbert, Bachelor of Science. Let's see my students. Jillian Kelsey Hermanas, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in business computing and the degree with distinction, Abdullah Ibrahim, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in computer science and business, computing, and the degree with distinction, Grant Cantor, Bachelor of Science. Kaden Savio Bredevelt, Bachelor of Science. With distinction, Cameron Michael Garvey, Master of Science. With distinction in the coursework component, Anke van Dijk, Master of Science. Roscoe John Kelby, Bachelor of Science Honors. Cameron Mispolon, Bachelor of Science. Drew MacArthur, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in human anatomy and physiology, and biochemistry and the degree with distinction, Bianca Rickmans, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in biology, marine biology, and environmental geography sciences, and the degree with distinction, Benjamin Brian Eva Clark, Bachelor of Science. Tom James Smythe, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Mikhail Ashley de Villiers, Bachelor of Science Honors. Milagre Lan, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in Applied Mathematics and Physics, and the degree with distinction, Charlotte Marlian Lowe, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Nabil Dokrat, Bachelor of Science Honors. Bila Aslan, Bachelor of Science Honors. In the first class, Gareth Nicholas Fee, Bachelor of Science Honors. Finley Albert Schulling, Bachelor of Science. Ashley Dingwo, Bachelor of Science. Akila Sadiq, Bachelor of Science Honors. Robin Kayla Daniels, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in Ocean and Atmospheric Science, Christina Ina Montiero, Bachelor of Science. Zoelisha Zulu, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Harvey Ileo Lowry, Bachelor of Science Honors. In the first class, Giorgio Sabu Tanatara, Bachelor of Science Honors. With distinction in computer science, computer engineering, and mathematics, and the degree with distinction, Jaron Cohen, Bachelor of Science. Silvana Skippers, Bachelor of Science. Zakira Phillips, Bachelor of Science Honors. Salolefo Matimela, Bachelor of Science. Avela Mdingi, Bachelor of Science. Wafudi Cornelius Mlauzi, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Carl Stephen Solomons, Bachelor of Science Honors. Lisa Anna Meyer, Bachelor of Science. Tabiso Nokutula Kadimeng, Bachelor of Science. Gonse Makurue Ledaba, Bachelor of Science. Michael James Ganscott, Bachelor of Science. Tina Malfrubi Snashasha Hadebe, Bachelor of Science Honors. distinction in Ocean and Atmospheric Science, Carly Costa, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in Computer Science and Applied Statistics, and the degree with distinction, Claudia Rika Greenberg, Bachelor of Science. Tembeshishe Loyiso Leroy Mabena, Bachelor of Science Honors. In the first class, Luadile Guabushe, Bachelor of Science Honors. With distinction in the coursework component, Trisha Divinsh Kumar Patel, Master of Science. Nadia Teixeira, Bachelor of Science. Sandisiwe Sibulele Mdoda, Bachelor of Science Honors. Usama Creel, Bachelor of Science. Zaid Padit, Bachelor of Science. Sufant Ramturen, Bachelor of Science. Apologies, I did not get it right. Sinesipo Swanwasha, Bachelor of Science. Pumzilen Kosi, Bachelor of Science Honors. Suho Choeng, Bachelor of Science Honors. Soni Skauke, Master of Science. Elizabeth Manasseh, Master of Science, Master of Law in Tax Laws. Mark Oliver Dennis Berg, Bachelor of Science. Joshua David Passmore, Bachelor of Science. Yolanda Dube, Bachelor of Science. Anele Johnny, Bachelor of Science. Onke Boyer, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Rion Robert Teixeira Castle, Bachelor of Science Honors. Relebogile Masekela Sape, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Kelly Gilmore, Bachelor of Science Honors. James Dean Straheldorf, Bachelor of Science. Justin Alex Coburn, Bachelor of Science. Liam Labaton, Bachelor of Science. Duduzo Zueli Shlabisa, Bachelor of Science. Sean Lufoloake Mkize, Bachelor of Science. Tabo Simon Machopa, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Kaylin Pillay, Bachelor of Science Honors. Matthew Anthony Visa, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Rahul Mistry, Bachelor of Science Honors. Deirdre Ellen Rutendo Sangonda, Bachelor of Science. Shelopele Moshe, Bachelor of Science. Killian Bianca Erasmus, Bachelor of Science Honors. Jonathan Wayne Swanepoel, Bachelor of Science. Kakiso Francois Kaketso Boemon Schlapo, Bachelor of Science Honors. Masashaba Charlotte Kosa, Bachelor of Science. Senate Sharon Marakabei, Bachelor of Science Honors. In the first class, Lois Alicia Mpangala, Bachelor of Science Honors. Grant Matthew Oliver, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Oliver James Marks, Bachelor of Science Honors. In the first class, Jessica Catherine Jade Worsley, Bachelor of Science Honors. Dylan Solin, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Nicholas Fabian Burr, Bachelor of Science Honors. Nicholas. Jessica Sarah Fowrie, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Tara Kelly Davids, Bachelor of Science Honors. Afternoon. In the first class, Piera Riccardo Puccini, Bachelor of Science Honors. In the first class, Lynn Wayne, Bachelor of Science Honors. In the first class, Joshua Jamie Gies, Bachelor of Science Honors.
Sorry, they didn't give me that thing yesterday, so I just wrote that. It's a ledger.
In the first class, Hileche Maria Magrieta Van Zel, Bachelor of Science Honors. Tabo Godfrey Joy, Bachelor of Science. Zimasa Mangaliso, Bachelor of Science Honors. Nsovo Lovejoy Mnisi, Bachelor of Science. With decision, Michael Stefan Lambrecht, Master of Science. Pooja Pandey, Bachelor of Science. Just wait. Sean Gustav Schumann, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Anne Clutie, Bachelor of Science Honors. Chad Lee Thomas, Bachelor of Science Honors. Dean Jonan Williams, Bachelor of Science Honors. Jessica Claire Cooper, Bachelor of Science. Yeah. In the first class, Sebastian Zimper, Bachelor of Science Honors. Gabriel Alexander Vieira, Bachelor of Science Honors. Lehase Lerato Seoe, Bachelor of Science. Tato Tapo, Bachelor of Science. Sipo Senkosi Nkele, Bachelor of Science. Ado Oje Dlamini, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Venam Prayag, Bachelor of Science Honors. Tokelo Mashile, Bachelor of Science Honors. Reese Vaughan van Eden, Bachelor of Science. Daylan Stuart Rees, Bachelor of Science. Fatai Betty Mutiwas Sekwa, Bachelor of Science. Yijo. With decision in genetics, Yi Zhao Li, Bachelor of Science. Kira Yasmin Shivon Anma, Bachelor of Science. Mpo Mary Jane Malachi, Bachelor of Science. Rachel Shena Brokin, Bachelor of Science Honors. Yuval Ben Abdenbaum, Bachelor of Science. Lokeleng Sojesing, Bachelor of Science. Simon Patrick Van Riel, Bachelor of Science. Take your time. Aneki Lydia Max, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in computer science and mathematics and the degree with distinction, Liam Edward Gani, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in business computing and the degree with distinction, Mariam Soni, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Megan Coetzee, Bachelor of Science Honors. Matthew Alexander Hankiewicz, Bachelor of Science. Jordan Emily Krige, Bachelor of Science. Olivia Page McDonald, Bachelor of Science. Nina Marie Gotton, Bachelor of Science Honors. Jesse Rafael Das Neves, Bachelor of Science. Jenna Lee Richards, Bachelor of Science. Jamie Emma Mayer, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in biology, human anatomy and physiology, at the degree with distinction, Daniela Catherine Smith, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in biochemistry and genetics, and the degree with distinction, Isla Diana Sutherland, Bachelor of Science. Julian David Lord, Bachelor of Science. Tanaya Singh, Bachelor of Science. Philasandra Gualela, Bachelor of Science. Caitlin Natalia Hayes, Bachelor of Science. Mpo Lydia Seshlabo, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Kane Levy Rederman, Bachelor of Science Honors. Olivia Amy Mugatod, Bachelor of Science Honors. Kayla D'Souza, Bachelor of Science Honors. Darren Neft Wessels, Bachelor of Science. With distinction, Tisha Tose, Master of Science. Come on. Amy Klute, Bachelor of Science. Nicholas Yerolemo, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in genetics, Gemma Kathleen Davis, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in applied mathematics at the degree distinction, Max Matthewson, Bachelor of Science. Deline Gavin, Bachelor of Science. Kiara Leah Manon Foray, Bachelor of Science. Gianluca Rizzo, Bachelor of Science. Kayla DeBeer, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in genetics and human anatomy and physiology at the degree of distinction, Saul Mayers, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in computer science and physics and the degree of distinction, Justine Lara Crook Mansour, Bachelor of Science. Kelly Ann Shaw, Bachelor of Science. Renee Maria Silias, Bachelor of Science. Tamsanga Kunta Kinte Trobo, Bachelor of Science Honors. Kabelo Kadisha Serage, Bachelor of Science Honors. Lufuno Timothy Shishifiri, Bachelor of Science. Apeo Tara Graham, Bachelor of Science. Yusri Daman, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Cameron James Blair, Bachelor of Science Honors. Nandi Nobeka Shenzi, Bachelor of Science. Gosiakasi Musa, Bachelor of Science. Nonshasha Junior Chlengane, Bachelor of Science. Jeremy John McConnell, Bachelor of Science. Samantha Tuli Cooper, Bachelor of Science. Aidan James Bailey, Bachelor of Science Honors. In the first class, Bianca Kennedy Suarez, Bachelor of Science Honors. Come on, Bianca. Ying Ning Tiffany Yuan, Bachelor of Science. Malcolm Bevan Bankis, Bachelor of Science. Tammy Sebela, Bachelor of Science. With distinction, Akshata Mehta, Master of Philosophy. With distinction, the coursework component, Sophie Gillies Rathmel, Master of Philosophy. Zara Muhammad, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Lloyd Wilson Everett, Bachelor of Science Honors. Michaela Africa, Bachelor of Science. Narendra Ocean Rakoroitsen, Bachelor of Science. Hassan Mchaba Smith, Bachelor of Science. Alex Ashley Goldschmidt, Bachelor of Science. Danielle Tegan Vesaji, Bachelor of Science. Abogile Tom, Bachelor of Science. Nicholas Stuart Taylor, Bachelor of Science. Savannah DeCock, Bachelor of Science. Tasmia Rawat, Bachelor of Science. Ami Lei Pithe, Bachelor of Science. Zafar Munir, Bachelor of Science Honors. Julian Dawn Perry, Bachelor of Science. Aiden Cumming, Bachelor of Science. Isabella Cooper, Bachelor of Science. Sarah Claire Daly, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in biochemistry and genetics, and the degree with distinction, Sarah Nicole McLeod, Bachelor of Science. Daniel Leonardus Rousseau, Bachelor of Science. Michaela Bella Leith Tuck, Bachelor of Science. Tadiwa Caro Mazzore, Bachelor of Science. Mandisa Nokupila Nzuza, Bachelor of Science. Tadolinetu Mkize, Bachelor of Science. Michaela Van Zeel, Bachelor of Science Honors. Yeah, you can go. Malepo Marope, Bachelor of Science Honors. Amber Olivia Mulder, Bachelor of Science. Yes. Fuzumzi Mabadi, Bachelor of Science Honors. For a thesis entitled Governance, Informality and Agency in Making of Cross-Border Mopane Warm Livelihoods in Southern Africa, James George Sekonya, Doctor of Philosophy. In the first class, Aisha Aubihi, Bachelor of Science Honors. In the first class, Frodia Gondo, Bachelor of Science Honors. Nabila Muhammad Adam, Bachelor of Science. Is that Billy or Bennett? Sabrina Bell Roberts, Bachelor of Science. Koskun Onu Koku Karagos, Bachelor of Science. Sonia Margaret Stock, Bachelor of Science honors. Hello. With distinction in computer science and applied mathematics, and the degree with distinction, Liam Adam Robert Watson, Bachelor of Science. Grad Herman Rudy Souls, Bachelor of Science honors. Bongeni Sibanda, Bachelor of Science.
Bachelor of Science.
From Up Square.
Pardon?
From Up Square.
Yes.
Brady Zulu, Bachelor of Science.
Please don't call this name.
Simnikiwe Konto, Bachelor of Science. Noah De Nicola, Bachelor of Science. Hello. Maya Bianca Villion, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in computer science and mathematics and the degree with distinction, Derek George Riesenzan, Bachelor of Science.
It's Sien Heng Lee.
Sien Heng Lee, Bachelor of Science. Okushe Simayile, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in the dissertation, Gideon Jacobus Dissot, Master of Science. Rebecca Robin Aarons, Bachelor of Science. Dutoy Spice, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in biochemistry and the degree with distinction, Luke David Guy Pegram, Bachelor of Science. Joshua Daniels, Bachelor of Science. Kayla Erin Van Toda, Bachelor of Science.
I never got a tag, so that's mine. It's Renee van Zyl, biochemistry, human anatomy, physiology with distinction.
Rule Van Zyl, Bachelor of Science with distinction in human anatomy and physiology and biochemistry. Denisha Giga, Bachelor of Science. Michaela Amanda Erasmus, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Damian Wilson, Bachelor of Science Honors. Rabia Jacobs, Bachelor of Science. With distinction in computer engineering and computer science and the degree with distinction, James Michael Bruce Barnes, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, Jenna Blumicki, Bachelor of Science Honors. Hello. It's good to have a member of my department. For a thesis entitled Monkey Beetles on the Beat, Urban Monkey Beetles Review Opportunities for Pollinator Habitat Management in the Southern African City, Peter Deborah Douglas Boom. Charity Shibane, Bachelor of Science. Luke Elliott Winch Shoes, Bachelor of Science. Johannes Luis Wilmemas Tejaga, Bachelor of Science. Sishle Kanyiso Talana, Bachelor of Science. How do you say that? Mulaji. With distinction in business computing, Mujahid Mulaji, Bachelor of Science. Lisa Sekona, Bachelor of Science Honors. With distinction in computer science and mathematics, and the degree distinction, Elizabeth Ann Stevenson. In the first class, Emily Frances Morris, Bachelor of Science Honors. Joshua Paul Van Blake, Bachelor of Science Honors. Amanda Tandeka Masilela, Bachelor of Science. Apiwe Mkwinji, Bachelor of Science Honors. Mpumelelo Brian Guetta, Bachelor of Science. Prenushlin Naidu, Bachelor of Science. Kun Yu Yang, Bachelor of Science. Kathleen Kelly Lindiwe Charlton, Bachelor of Science. Naijo Kutsai Forai Munyoro, Bachelor of Science. In the first class, James Creel, Bachelor of Science Honors. Sebastian David Oliver, Bachelor of Science. With distinction, Benjamin Thomas Oliver, Master of Science. Leah Stockenstrom, Bachelor of Science Honors. Siambonga Leti Msipa, Bachelor of Science. Mohammed Asa Asmal, Bachelor of Science. Gumisai Gozindasche Mazivire, Bachelor of Science. Hello. In the first class, William Andrew McMichael. I can be Pelonomi Lena Sakwe, Bachelor of Science. Hello. Hi. Anati Anna Moy, Bachelor of Science. Silindokushle Anele Dlamini, Bachelor of Science Honors. Bongin Slasha Magnificent Msibi, Bachelor of Science. Hi. Hope Tendo Mudau, Bachelor of Science. Are you the last one? Fatma Zara Mola, Bachelor of Science. Still one more. Sinongo Nkazozimulo Zuma, Bachelor of Science. for your degree. Anele Ane Matsebula, Bachelor of Science.